Good morning and welcome everyone to this broadcast that we're doing this morning. Something a little bit out of the box here for myself. I don't normally do interviews with people, but I wanted to interview this particular guest today because he's been a very big input and influence in my business and the way that it's taken off over the last 12 months. And I wanted him to be able to impart some incredible knowledge with yourselves. I'm going to start with simply giving a very, very brief introduction to this guy, but I'm going to get into cover his story in a bit more detail. But I just wanted to say that if you're in a lot of debt or you're working many, many hours and you can't find a way out, listen to this gentleman's story because he was 40k in debt, working 80 hours a week on his own business with no time to spare at all, yet he found a way to be able to leverage what he could online to be able to build an incredible empire and now lives a very, very different and happy life. So without further ado, let me introduce you to Richard Matharoo, online genius and marketing expert. Welcome, Richard, and like I say, give us a little bit more detail into your story.
Sure. Yeah. Well, thanks for having us. And genius. That's very, very kind. I'm kind of the dumb guy that was just smart enough to know a couple of things and do well. So it's a pleasure to work with you and to watch you grow and you build your income and your business. So I'm happy to play a part with that. And thank you for the introduction. So my story. Yeah, it's pretty much like, I guess, a lot of people who are watching can perhaps relate to it. If you're somebody that's wanting to do more, feel like there's more inside of you, we kind of carry that feeling, don't we, for a long period of time. I think we get to adulthood, children or a job or just a routine. I mean, it's all our own choice, even though we don't feel like it is. I'd kind of settled in and I got to that position where I became a father. The business that I owned actually owned me. I couldn't take a break from it. I was working 80 hours a week to earn less than minimum wage when I averaged out the money. I was losing money. I was £40,000 in debt. That's $70,000 for my American friends. And I just thought that this can't be it. I felt I had a brighter future than that. I'm looking at my daughter. I never had a father. If you're someone that's never had an ideal family situation, I don't think anybody really does, right? I didn't have an ideal family situation growing up like so many people don't. And I always promised myself when I got into the position to be a father, I would do my best. I would give my absolute best, and that would be time that I never had with my father. And here I was falling into that trap that I said I wouldn't. So I thought, okay, enough's enough. I got to do something. I don't have any money. Everything I've worked for, I've lost. I need to do something different. So that led me to search around online. I got open-minded. I found network marketing. I like the business principle of it. I like the idea of it. I struggled at first for a little while, and then I found my stride by making some changes. And now I'm very grateful to be up to 5 figures per month in my business. We've taken 18, I believe, holidays, vacations in our last 2.5 years. We just had a brand new car delivered yesterday for my wife. I got a car through my company. And, if you'd have told me that in a matter of a few years, my life would have been completely improved in every aspect, I wouldn't have believed it had I not gone through it myself. So I hope I can, that 10% of people that actually take action on what they see, I hope that they're inspired by what we covered today.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you for that. It's a real insight to hear your story on how, like you say, you were working 80 hours and still found a way. And actually, having you made that decision, how did you see you were going to be able to fit in building another business on top of an already existing business that you had that was taking so much of your time? I mean, so many people are working full-time jobs or working overtime just to cover their bills. How did you find that way to be able to put in the extra time to be able to build a business? What did you use to be able to leverage?
Yeah, that's a great question. The actual honest answer is it's like when you wait for a perfect time to have a child. There is no, when you look at your life after you have a child, you go, how did I have so much time? I must have had so much time before, but I felt busy. And it's the same when you come to build a home business. It's about making a decision. Maybe you're not so desperate for time like I was. Maybe you work 40 or 50 hours or whatever that may be, and you still feel busy. I mean, it's a perception, right? But what I did understand and what you've got to ask yourself is, what's the alternative? If I stood back and I looked at my schedule and there wasn't really no time to fit those business building activities in. But what I knew was I'd seen for the last 5 years of my life where I was heading and where I was at, and it hadn't really changed much if I didn't do something new, something different. So it came as a decision. I just thought, you know what, I'm going to have to miss out on some sleep. You know, I'm going to have to cut some people. It blows my mind. You know, I hear people say, oh, I want to be a better father, a better mother, a better person. I want to influence the world. I want to get on stage and speak in front of tens of thousands of people. I want to be a millionaire. What are you willing to give? Well, I got to get 8 hours sleep, or I'll be tired. I'm like, are you kidding me? You know, you want all that vision, and yet you're not willing to sacrifice some sleep. So that's what I did. You know, I'd work and I'd work and I'd work, and I'd fall asleep at my desk, and I'd crawl to my bed, and I'd get back up and I'd work again, because I understood that it was only going to be a season of my life. You know, if I just put that period of time in, I could then look at the model of network marketing, I could then actually have more free time. So, you know, everyone has got this level over here where they are, over here where they want to be, and they struggle in between, and you're just going to have to make some sacrifices, and time was one of them. I knew that from the start.
Fantastic, and thank you for that, because a lot of people, like you say, they're not willing to take that extra step and sacrifice something to be able to make the difference in their own lives. So that's a real good insight. We hear so much of people's success stories, but we don't hear what the sacrifices are made in the meantime and getting to that bit. So thank you for that. And as you're talking about sacrifices, slightly different question than you'd probably be expecting, but what would you say was your darkest online moment in building your business? How did you find yourself getting through that moment? What made you keep moving forward? So if you could tell us that darkest moment.
Yeah, I think there's just the one. You know, there's been plenty. And just quickly, I just realized for that last question, in terms of time management, if you do have the time, I highly suggest drawing out a weekly routine where you look at the pockets of time you have available and filling them with business activities, because especially if you're not business minded, it can be difficult to get a routine. I just wanted to make sure your audience has got that. But my darkest moments, man, you know, how many times did I do something that I felt was going to work, and it completely was useless? You know, we've all been there, right? We see something, we go, right, so I'll do this, and I'm bound to get thousands of people in my, of course they're going to join. And in fact, I can remember one. I did a video on YouTube, one of my first videos, and I watched it recently, and it's terrible. You know, if you're feeling suicidal, just don't watch it. It'll tip you over. Even if you're feeling happy, don't watch it. You know, it'll tip you over the edge. But I've created that video because I saw people winning on YouTube, right? I said, okay, these guys are making videos. They got millions of subscribers. They're making fortunes. Well, I can do that. I can make a video. I'm uncomfortable, but I'll do it. So I made this video, what I thought was outlining, you know, a real, just common sense. You'd be stupid not to join network marketing. And then I'm just waiting for the signups to roll in. I'm waiting for the leads, people to opt into stuff and roll in. And I'm refreshing, and I'm refreshing, and I'm scrolling, and nothing. Absolutely nothing. So it took me days to get the courage and the time to make that video. I must have reshot it 1,000,000 times until I was even happy with it. So I put days of work into something. I was already desperately in debt. I thought this would be a solution that would give me some breathing space. I just remember sitting there staring at my computer and just thinking, now I understand that this is me. It is me. You know, it isn't the fact that YouTube doesn't work. It isn't the fact that network marketing doesn't work. I'm not good enough right now to make this work. And I need to go and invest in myself. I need to go to events. I need to buy courses. I need to take more smarter action in order to change this, because YouTube is obviously working for a lot of people. So is network marketing. So this has got to be me. So it was a dark moment, but also kind of, you know, something that I credit myself for, even though I had no skills coming into this, is I don't sit and cry about things for a long time. I was like, right, okay, this doesn't work. It isn't working. It's me. How can I change it? And I kind of go through that process very quickly, as opposed to sitting on the settee for 3 weeks depressed, you know?
Fantastic. Yeah, no, it's, I again, like you, and I think, you know, a lot of people can probably relate to that particular darkest moment where we all do something where we think, that's it, that's the solution. And we sit there waiting for weeks and days for something to happen. It never happens. So thank you for that. Yeah. Appreciate it. It'd only be fair. I know you said that was probably a good realization moment for you as well, but having covered the darkest moment, what would you say has been the best moment, your proudest moment in your online career? Because again, you know, we always like to see both sides of everything. So it'd be great to get what you feel has been your most successful so far.
Yeah, so far I got a long way to go. I'm super ambitious. I mean, it's changed over time, actually. It's changed as my vision's grown. I kind of highlight a couple I think will really benefit people. Yeah, the first one was there was a few. The first one was I actually went to an event in Dallas. There was no events in my country for my company. I really couldn't afford to go. I trusted my mentor. I said, okay, I'll come. It was money I didn't have. It racked up the maximum of my credit card. But I thought, you know what? If he says I need to go, I trust him, so I went. It was in a period of my life where I'd lost someone really close to me, the first time I'd lost someone as close to me. Network marketing wasn't really working that well for me, and I was lost, you know, physically. I was having health issues from the stress. It was a really bad dark time for me, but I went to this event. I thought, I got to do this. I know I can do it. I got to do it. I got to find a way. I didn't really believe I could do it, you know. I was going on a hope as opposed to a belief. So I went to this event, and two things happened at this event. Number one, I saw my mentor sharing his story, and he was in floods of tears. Now, when I'm watching videos of people, sometimes you think, okay, this guy is great with the speech. He's sharp. He's slick. You know, I'm sure he can sell this stuff, but is he actually a real person? And when I got there and I saw him sharing with this passion and in tears, and I could tell it was, you know, I'm a good judge of character. I thought, wow, I can have faith in people again. I was very bitter from the loss of the person he'd been taken very quickly from us in a very nasty way. So I was very bitter and lost faith in people. So that put my faith back in myself and allowed me to be positive. And then also, because I'd done okay in a recruiting competition, not good enough to make any good money, but I'd done okay, I could actually see some kind of result. I got invited to go and play pool with them in the penthouse suite of the hotel we're staying in. So I'm here with these people I've just seen on video. You know, I idolize these people in marketing terms, and they say, hey, come up to the penthouse. They got a pool table. I mean, these lift doors open. It's just like a movie. And I realized that this was a life I could have, and it was real, and it was only a little bit of consistent effort away from it. So that gave me a real hunger and pride to kind of think, okay, wow, I can do this. I'm playing on this level with these people. If I can just do it consistently, I'm going to achieve big things. Shortly after that, something else that really happened great was I qualified for a cruise via our company. And there's a photo you probably find easily in my blog somewhere that there's a picture of myself, my wife, and my little girl. It's kind of like an orange tint to it because it was like a cheap camera that I had. And we're in the cabin of this cruise ship, got floating around the Caribbean. Now, having not been able to spend much time with either of them that I wanted to, and you know, felt like I was failing them, and all this pressure and stress that I'd had, to actually be able to kind of say to them, hey, you know what? Daddy's taking you and your husband's taking you on this cruise. This is how we're starting the year. That picture was just amazing and filled me with pride to have become the person that was capable of doing that for them. And then the final one I want to share is, as my visions got bigger and bigger, you know, I love to see my team get on stage, you know, and we've had, luckily enough, you know, we've had quite a few people to be on stage. You'll be next, of course, you know, I know you rank advanced, and it's really cool to see people go through that journey, because I see myself and a lot of people who are struggling, you know, and I know how they feel. I know they feel that, can I really do this? And I know their background. I've worked with them. I know that their difficulties. Some people have had some really, you know, tough lives, abuse, neglect, some really serious issues in the world with people, and to see that they can break free of that and grow into a better person, not just a marketer, not just the money, but, you know, be able to get on stage, and the pride I can see coming out of them. I just feel really, really, it's such a beautiful industry, and just to even have played a small part in that is magical. That's what strives me forward, and that's why I do what I do, is to take people from dark times or difficult times and show them a pathway of who they can be, and see them realize it. It never loses its shine. It really doesn't.
Yeah, no, that's very powerful, like you say, to be able to see others from all walks of backgrounds, and to be able to have that success, and like you say, to be able to play a small part in that, it's amazing. The gratitude that you can have, and the appreciation you can have of other people's efforts and stories that they go through. So yeah, there's some real great stories there. Thank you. So obviously you're very passionate. What sort of things would you say keep you focused on your goals? I mean, you know, you've been online now for a number of years, and like we've covered, you've had some dark times and you've had some great times. But what's been keeping you consistent? What things are you doing that when you get distracted, bring you back to where you need to be to carry on doing what you're doing?
Yeah, that's another great question. It's a mixture of